Hello everyone! Today I'm going to share the best chocolate chip banana bread recipe in the world. Why so confident? That's why. For the record, this is not my recipe and I will put a link to the original video in the description. As many of you know, I'm not a baker, but if you're like me, this video will prove you wrong. This recipe is fantastic for beginners. I have actually made the chocolate chip banana bread 3 times now and this is my 4th. I hope you try it and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Here are the ingredients. For 1 loaf of chocolate chip banana bread, you will need 4 room temperature bananas, 3 that are just about ready to eat and 1 that is just about to get thrown away. This is not a must, but the ripeness of the bananas could change the cooking times, I think. You will also need 1 cup of flour, and I believe I'm using self-rising flour, half a cup of processed cocoa, and I'm using the Hershey's brand, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of melted butter, which equals 4 tablespoons, 1/4 cup of oil, and I'm using avocado oil, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 room temperature egg, and 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and I'm using the Nestle brand. You will also need a mixing device, a bread baking tray, and I'm using parchment paper instead of spraying oil, a whisker, a rubber spatula, and a knife. Start by chopping the bananas in the KitchenAid, and if you don't have one, you can just do it by hand, but it's going to take a bit longer. Then set it down, lock it, and turn the KitchenAid on using the slowest setting. Let it run for about a minute and be careful not to turn the bananas into a liquid puree. I processed mine for about 45 seconds this time. However, the softer the bananas, the quicker they will start liquefying. While the bananas are processing, in a mixing bowl combine all the dry ingredients. The 1 cup of flour, the half a cup of cocoa, the baking soda, and the salt. Next, using a whisker, incorporate the ingredients well together. Back to the KitchenAid. At this point the bananas should be all done and this is the consistency we're looking for. Now add the 1/4 cup of each melted butter and avocado oil, set the KitchenAid down, lock it and let it run for about 30 seconds. Next, add the 3/4 cup of brown sugar and let the KitchenAid run for about a minute or until the brown sugar is very well incorporated with the rest of the ingredients. While the KitchenAid is running, carefully add the teaspoon of vanilla extract and let it run for approximately 15 or 20 seconds. Then turn it off. Crack the egg in and let it run until you no longer see traces of the egg and make sure not to overmix it. And remember, all mixing has to be done at the lowest speed on your KitchenAid. At this point, preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and make sure the rack is on the bottom level of the oven. While the oven is preheating, we are going to add the dry ingredients into the KitchenAid, lock it, and let it run for about 1.5 minutes or until the 2 mixtures are completely incorporated. When done, clean and remove the mixing attachment. Add about 3/4 of the chocolate chips, leaving the rest to decorate the chocolate chip banana bread. Then using a rubber spatula, mix the chocolate chips by hand. Next, carefully pour the mixture into the baking pan, shake it and smooth the top. Then arrange the rest of the chocolate chips on the top of the banana bread. You can just sprinkle them over if you're short on time because this arrangement took about 2 minutes. When done, place the chocolate chip banana bread in the oven and set the timer for 50 minutes. Because different ovens bake differently and because the softness of the bananas affects the cooking time, after the initial 50 minutes I'm going to do a toothpick taste to make sure the banana bread is fully baked, meaning the toothpick should be somewhat dry when I pull it out of the banana bread. And in this case, I thought I should bake it for another 10 minutes because the tip of the pick was quite moist. So back in the oven with the timer set for additional 10 minutes. The first banana bread I made, I actually had to bake for a total of 75 minutes because 3 out of the 4 bananas were very ripe, soft and mushy. The additional 10 minutes was enough, so this banana bread took a total of 1 hour to bake. And look how wonderful it looks. Now the hardest part, waiting for 15 minutes prior to slicing it. So the gentleman who posted the original recipe gave the brilliant idea of using parchment paper instead of spraying the pan with oil. And this is where his idea comes so handy. You just leave the parchment paper and voila! Gently pull off the parchment paper and the chocolate chip banana bread is ready for slicing and most importantly, for eating. And you don't even have to wash the baking pan. And now, the moment of truth. I'm just going to stop talking and I will let you enjoy. And this is what was left of the chocolate chip banana bread the next morning. And actually, I just noticed now while editing that there is one shy chocolate chip left there. I hope you try and enjoy this chocolate chip banana bread recipe. Don't forget to check out the original video in the description. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you all.